Welcome all brothers and sisters in Christ to Soulful Scriptures Everyday. We are so glad you're with us.
Yes, truly. Thank you for joining us today.
Today we are doing a special deep dive. We have a really profoundly moving piece of modern testimony on the table today.
It is. It's an incredibly powerful document.
It's an article from the Global Sisters Report, and it's authored by Olga Shapoval.
And we need to be clear right from the top about our mission today.
Right. Our mission for this deep dive is to passionately and thoughtfully explore this real-world story of survival. We want to uncover how severe material deprivation is currently testing human dignity.
And, revealing the profound power of Christian faith and brotherhood in the process.
Exactly. Because this isn't just a distant news story. It's a testament to endurance.
I think we really need to set the theological and analytical tone here. When you read Olga's words, this isn't just a report about a humanitarian crisis.
No, not at all.
It reads like a modern-day epistle. It really does. It challenges you, the listener, to examine your own faith and your own comfort levels.
It forces us to look at a community that is literally being forced to find the light of Christ in freezing darkness.
Freezing darkness, that's not a metaphor here.
No, it is literal.
Okay.
And I think the best place to start is part one, which is really about the shattering of this illusion of comfort.
The physical reality she describes is just staggering.
It is. Olga describes living in an apartment in Kyiv where the temperature inside has plummeted to 6 degrees Celsius.
Which, for those of us using Fahrenheit, is about 42.8 degrees.
Inside your home, in your living room.
Right. While outside, the frost is biting at minus 20 degrees Celsius.
Minus 4 degrees Fahrenheit.
Just sit with that for a second. 42 degrees inside your house.
And it gets more surreal when she talks about the logistics of their daily lives. They have electricity for only 4 hours a day.
4 hours?
4 hours. Think about your own day, brothers and sisters. What do you accomplish in 4 hours?
Well, the text describes this frantic rush. The moment the power comes on, there's a desperate prioritization of survival tasks.
They have to warm up the space.
They have to cook food quickly.
Charge their phones.
And there's that poignant detail about texting.
Yes. They aren't scrolling social media. They are using that precious battery life to text their loved ones just to say,
"We are live."
We are live. 3 words.
That's the entirety of their communication in that brief window of power. It's heartbreaking.
And she points out the stark contrast of celebrating the holidays under these conditions. Celebrating Christmas and the New Year.
By candlelight.
Yes, but not for ambiance.
Right.
By candlelight and flashlight, because they are completely devoid of heat, electricity, or running water.
Because the thermal power plants and the water pipelines have been destroyed.
So, from your analytical lens, looking at this through our faith, what is happening here spiritually?
Well, Olga makes this incredible observation. She says these conditions shatter the illusion of comfort and safety.
The illusion?
Yes. We take modern conveniences like a roof, central heating, the freedom to just choose what we want to do. We take them for granted as permanent rights.
Right. We think we are owed these things.
But they are blessings. And when those comforts vanish suddenly, there's a profound spiritual awakening that happens.
The raw awareness.
Exactly. Sudden deprivation strips away all our superficial concerns. You aren't worried about the small, petty things of life when you are just trying to stay warm. It prompts a much deeper awareness of human dignity.
I want to challenge you, the listener, right now. Imagine your own home plunging to near-freezing temperatures tonight.
Just imagine the sudden vulnerability.
How drastically would your spiritual priorities shift? How much gratitude would you suddenly have for what Olga calls the brief gift of light?
It changes everything. It changes your entire posture towards God and your neighbor.
Which brings us to a really difficult part of this testimony. The shift from their freezing apartments to the subway sanctuaries.
The new normal for the vulnerable.
Olga solemnly describes the nightly reality for families in Kyiv. There are almost daily bombardments.
So they can't even stay in those freezing beds.
No. People are forced to abandon their beds. They have to sleep on the cold concrete floors of corridors, bathrooms, or they go down into the subway stations.
The details she shares about the children in these spaces.
It's just devastating.
She emphasizes that Ukrainian children are now experts at audibly distinguishing between the sounds of war.
They can tell the difference between a missile, a drone, and an air defense system just by the sound.
A child should not have that kind of expertise.
No. But in that subway station, Olga shares a really profound realization. She's sleeping on a cold floor, surrounded by hundreds of people clutching their children and their pets.
And she realizes this isn't just a temporary inconvenience for them.
Right. She connects this directly to the chronically homeless and the poor. She says this experience brings them intimately close to understanding the daily lives of the marginalized.
Because for the homeless, this constant reality of cold, uncertainty, and dependence on others, that is their everyday.
So the illusion of separation between the classes is just gone.
Completely obliterated. And brothers and sisters, this is where we need to open our Bibles. We need to look at Matthew 25, verse 40.
Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me.
Olga is living this out. She recognizes Christ asking to be welcomed in the face of the terrified person sitting next to her on the subway floor.
And this transforms charity entirely.
It does, because the text makes a vital distinction here. This call to mercy isn't born out of pity.
Right, it's born out of brotherhood.
Pity is looking down from a warm house and feeling bad for someone in the cold. Brotherhood is sitting on the cold floor next to them and sharing your only blanket.
That is such a powerful distinction. To truly live out Matthew 25:40, when you yourself are suffering right alongside them.
It changes the act of giving from a transaction to a shared kinship.
And we see the physical result of that kinship across the city.
Yeah.
The emergence of what they call points of invincibility.
I love that phrase.
It's beautiful. These are tents and temporary shelters set up across the city where people can just go to warm up.
Or work remotely, or just charge a device.
Local churches have totally transformed into these vital centers of resilience.
They are using generators and charging stations provided by benefactors from abroad. So the global church is helping to offer this warmth.
But Olga makes a statement here that I think we really need to pause on. She says that often it is the simplest things that save people from despair.
Light, warmth, and the presence of another person.
The presence of another person.
Let's talk about the theology of presence. We live in such a high-tech world. We think a charged phone is our ultimate lifeline.
But during a crisis like this, a screen isn't enough.
Not at all. The physical, reassuring presence of another human being is what actually reflects God's love, just sitting with someone.
And the consecrated sisters are modeling this beautifully. Olga shares this testament of mutual care among the nuns.
The network of sisterhood.
Yes. Nuns in Western cities like in Lviv and Khmelnytsky, they are opening their doors.
They are offering a place of warmth and rest to the weary sisters coming from Kyiv.
These small gestures of love heal weary souls.
It proves that even amidst these grueling trials, believers remain one family in God. They don't turn inward, they open their doors.
But we have to be honest about the reality on the ground. There is a beautiful paradox in Olga's text.
Amidst all this horror, immense goodness is visible. People are sharing their last blankets and candles.
Sharing warm clothes.
Yeah.
But the sheer scale of the need is staggering.
And it's rapidly growing. They need food, medicine, shelter.
And crucially, psychological care.
The psychological trauma has become an everyday reality for both the adults and the children.
Which brings us to a really inspiring part of the article, the spotlight on Sister Daniela Radomska.
She is a Dominican sister from Poland.
Yes, and she is serving right there in the Kyiv region, and her vital work is conducting art therapy courses.
She is working with displaced families, children from Kherson, and the grieving mothers of fallen and missing soldiers.
From a pastoral and psychological perspective, why is art therapy so crucial here?
Because of the depth of the trauma. Art therapy creates a space to communicate unimaginable pain, fear, and loss without words.
Because sometimes there are no words for that kind of grief.
Exactly. When a mother loses a child to war, or a child loses their home, the trauma is unspeakable. But through art, Sister Daniela is offering attentive listening.
She is offering heartfelt prayer alongside them.
And that reminds these grieving souls that they do not face their suffering alone. Her presence validates their pain.
It's a profound act of what the text calls active love, and the church in Ukraine is refusing to look away.
They are demonstrating concrete acts of sacrifice every single day.
Sisters are running community rooms in freezing conditions.
They are providing comprehensive psychological support.
They are opening orphanages for children left parentless by the conflict.
This is a direct call to Christian responsibility. It is a demand for compassion and prayer.
And as the text says, an act of love that does not grow accustomed to war.
That is the danger for us, the listeners. Growing accustomed to their suffering because it's been going on for so long. We cannot let our love become passive.
So how do they endure this?
Yeah.
Day after day of freezing cold and fear.
The theology of endurance.
Yes. Olga introduces the ultimate anchor of hope for her community, and it's found in Matthew 28, verse 20.
The promise of Emmanuel.
God with us, always, until the end of the age.
That is the profound conviction held by these believers. They truly believe that darkness does not have the final word.
Love and goodness cannot be destroyed by bombs.
It cannot. But the text makes a very sobering observation about the world's response.
Olga notes that the powerful of this world have failed to stop this horror over the last 4 years.
The politicians, the diplomats, they haven't been able to end the freezing nights or the bombardments.
So what does that require of the believers?
It requires a radical, defiant faith. They have to firmly believe that this conflict will ultimately be stopped not by politicians, but by the Prince of Peace.
The Prince of Peace, choosing to live, pray, and serve in these conditions. It is an act of spiritual defiance.
Yes, it's not the absence of fear. They are human, they feel fear, but it's the triumph of hope and faith over that fear.
Every act of mercy, every shared candle, proves that evil is not all-powerful.
It is a rebellion against the darkness.
As we come to the end of this deep dive, we have to relay Olga's final, humble request to you, the listener.
She is asking us to stand with them.
To stand with them in prayer, in compassion, and in support.
Because together, as one body of believers, we bear witness that humanity can endure even the horrors of war.
True peace won't just arrive as a coincidence.
No, as Olga says, it will be the fruit of truth, love, and the faithfulness of God who never abandons his people.
Never abandons his people. Brothers and sisters, this testimony challenges us to our core.
We cannot read this and remain unchanged.
So we want to leave you with a lingering, challenging question to meditate on long after this deep dive ends.
Something to really search your own heart about.
If all your physical comforts, your heat, your electricity, your sense of safety, were stripped away tonight, leaving you only in the cold and the dark,
What kind of faith and what kind of humanity would be left shining within you?
may God bless you, and may He bless and keep the people of Ukraine.